How's it going, YouTube? Sushi bringing you guys another Digimon video today. Today we have a match. It is me on the left going all the way back to BT7. We got LordKnightmon, and on the right my opponent is playing the Red Hybrid. I do not believe they have the Ancient package in this list, so it's going to be pretty much an Emperor Greymon Red Hybrid list. So here my opponent does drop the Bokomon to start the round off. Looks like they do whiff on the rookie, so they're going to take the Flamemon. If you can see their hand from earlier, they do have several of their level 4 hybrids, probably not wanting to mulligan that hand. We do have mulligans for this event, but if you mulligan that hand, you run the risk of not actually having your level 4 hybrids when you actually need them later in the game, such as if your tamers come out of security or you draw into them. So at 3 memory, I do have the TK in hand, so I hatch the Pikmon digivolving into the Pulsemon, playing the TK, choking my opponent at 1 memory. Eventually, I will take this Pulsemon that I take out of security from TK, so don't worry about that. They do digivolve into the Flamemon, swinging with the Bokomon, probably just, they don't have Tamer in hand, it looks like, besides the Takuya, probably don't want to run the risk. They probably know I'm playing LordKnightmon at this point, so they just want to go ahead, get a little bit of chip damage, and then go ahead and digivolve the Burning Greymon from BT4, back in raising, passing me back over to my 3 for TK, and here I'll just go up into the Angelomon to just have the plays. I don't necessarily know if I have a LordKnightmon at this point, but this pretty much sets me up, especially if I go down in security, I can make that Angelomon live the next turn. So here my opponent will go ahead and use the Atomic Inferno on BT4 Burning Greymon. So BT4 Burning Greymon does get 3k DP. Atomic Inferno gives him another 3k on his turn. With the Demi Marimon, he's swinging in 13k, so there's nothing really in my deck that can take him out. I do run one Valderarm, so that could have possibly been there, but I saw it off the TK. It was very not likely going to be in security. And here, kind of a questionable play on my opponent. Instead of digivolving or playing a Tamer, you can see he had the Takuya in hand. He does digivolve into the Aldemon. A little bit of a risky play because if I do have the LordKnightmon, which I do, I am probably just going to swing over it next turn, so we can't go into something like a Emperor Greymon and potentially swing over my own LordKnightmon or trade with it. So here I'll use LordKnightmon's effect to play the Bushi. I don't actually have another Knight or a hybrid or a level 3 in hand. I did digivolve that Pulsemon back in the back, so that kind of bit me in my butt. But he will get the play of the Takuya from his hand with the on deletion effect from the BT7 Flamemon. And I'll just go ahead and digivolve back in raising into the Pitomon, passing my opponent to 1 memory, trying to keep them memory choked as much as possible. I think at this point they do have a decent amount of hybrids in trash, so there is the chance of the Emperor Greymon play, and I am only at 2 security. The blocker's not really going to help me there because Emperor could just restand and swing again. So from the looks of my opponent hand, he really doesn't have anything better other than the Agunimon to go ahead and hard play. But passing the turn back over to me at 4, I swing in with the LordKnightmon, only having, again, 1 rookie to play, which is the Pulsemon, not getting any on-play effect, just getting a little bit of chip damage there. It does live because LordKnightmon is at 14k, swinging with the Bushi. Now I'm kind of worried here because I do hit the tie out of security with the Bushi swing, and an Emperor Greymon is very much a threat on board, especially if he goes on top of the Takuya. He'll get the 2 checks in, and I'm definitely not going to want to block that with the Pitomon. So here I'm trying to think about what I want to do. I definitely need to get rid of the Agunimon. So I play a TK, get a little bit more looking at my security. I believe I remember that Starmon being there from the previous TK, and it stayed in security. So I take the Starmon out, so I could potentially remove the Agunimon. If I do play it, it will have 5 bodies on board. It will give me -5 to the Agunimon to get rid of it, and that's pretty much what I do. Just go ahead and clear it off the board. If he does have the Emperor Greymon, I do have at least 1 blocker, so the tie follow-up, and he doesn't have enough memory to go into another hybrid, so that's kind of what I'm banking on here. Since I didn't hit another Tamer out of security, and he doesn't have anything like Gravity Crush in the list from what I've seen, I don't really have to worry about something like that coming out. So here you will see he did in fact have the Emperor Greymon. He goes ahead. You're really supposed to go ahead and use the effect to add the sources under the Takuya, but he already said he was definitely going into the Emperor Greymon beforehand. He's not worried about it. Here he tries to swing. He goes to swing into the LordKnightmon, forgetting that's an all turns effect. I do decide to let him know that. He did forget about it, so we will let him go ahead, swing the 2 security checks. I'm definitely not going to block it because I don't want to just lose the Pitomon for no reason, but he will have to pass the turn over to me. And here I do have plenty of swings on board. We'll go ahead, swing LordKnightmon, drop a Starmon just to have the body on board. Does live to the check with a Flamemon, swing in the Bushi, hitting the Bokomon, swinging the Pulsemon I played last turn, hitting Atomic Inferno, but at this point it doesn't matter. Swinging in with a Starmons, taking game 1. Typical LordKnightmon fashion, flood the board and hope your opponent can't take your security out before you get the chance to set up. Now on to game 2, I'm going to go ahead and preface this. I played this game kind of sloppy. I do have a couple plays that I could do, but I literally threw the deck together right before this event at my locals, and I hadn't really got much practice with it, hadn't done a lot of testing, so keep that in consideration as you can see the game go on forward. But here we Digivolve into the Starmons and back, play the Yellow Memory Boost. Since I don't have a TK at this point, I don't believe this does give me the chance to go into a LordKnightmon if my opponent only passes me to 1 memory and I can get up to a level 5 or something in raising. And here they go ahead, Digivolve a Flamemon and back into a Goonimon and play the Bokomon. Searching a little bit there, you see they grab the tie and a Flamemon, passing me back over to 2. So I do already have the LordKnightmon in hand that I got off of the memory boost, and I do end up having the Angelomon, passing my opponent back over to 2 memory. Keeping and raising, I'm always afraid of some type of removal that red could have if they have something like an Atomic Blaster or something, just to kind of clear my list off, or my board off, I should say. Then I don't want to risk the Angelomon dying and keeping it out. Here he'll swing in with the Agunimon, it does die, getting him the free Takuya play, swing in with the Bokomon. Probably should have kept that on the field, but knowing that I had the LordKnightmon in hand, he probably is kind of thinking that I am going to go ahead and kill it, so might as well get the check in, and then playing the tie to pass turnover. So here I am at 2 memory. This is kind of where I get a little sloppy with my plays. I already am at 3 security. I don't know why when I swing with the LordKnightmon. The Pulsemon's a smart play, but I have 2 Knightmons in hand. I really should have played the Knightmon, then Digivolve the Knightmon into the Dynasmon. The effect still is there. I still get the board state, because at this point, where I could have choked it a little bit more, even though I can't really choke, I just go ahead and drop a Bushi to pass him over to 3. I could have had a Knightmon into a Dynasmon, which would have given me a little bit more safety if he had more hybrids. I believe at this point he only has 2 or 3 hybrids in trash, so I'm not really fearing an Emperor, but it probably would have been much safer to just have the Knightmon. But I do end up getting to flood the board, and here he does in fact delete one of the Cutemons after playing the, or one of my rookies I should say, deleting the Cutemon. After playing the hybrid down and Digivolving into the Burning Greymon, it does get the delete since there is a hybrid in its sources. So even though he's able to get rid of 1, I am exactly at 3 security, so you can see the nice support card that did come out in this set for LordKnightmon, and here I am able to play the Knightmon, giving neg to the Burning Greymon, and then using the Angelomon effect to drop down a Starmons, getting rid of the Burning Greymon, swinging to security, hitting a starter deck tie. So you see they're going a little heavier on the red tamers. You saw several red tamers previously, but here I do have the Electric Rush, which does let me restand my LordKnightmon since I am exactly at 3 security and gaining 3000 DP, which really doesn't matter here. We swing in, we drop out another Bushi and another Knightmon, and then we just have the entire board on field. This is really to show you how LordKnightmon can still kind of keep up with this meta. If you can stay exactly at 3 security, you can see how you can just flood the board. LordKnightmon's effect as well as Angelomon's effect are neither once per turn, so you really can just flood the board if you get all the pieces fast enough and you have enough rookies and or knights in hand to play. Alright guys, but that will be the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching till the end of the video. I did enjoy playing this match. Nice to bring LordKnightmon back in when it's not the oppressive deck that everybody sees every 2 seconds like it was in the Eternal BT5 format. I will try to get less blue on the channel because I did put a lot of it right at the start of the format. I know some people are already getting tired of it. Will still be some blue matches, not me playing it, but my opponents. There are still people playing blue at my locals. But I'll try to keep it down to a little bit more of a minimum so it doesn't just flood the channel. But if you guys are interested in the deck list, I do need to make a few more tweaks to it, so I'll try to get that out eventually after I fine-tune a few things in the list. But until then guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content. Like the video if you did enjoy. Leave a comment down below letting me know if you do like LordKnightmon, how your feelings on it now that it's not been the Eternal BT5 format. But all that being said, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.